It's 11:59 at Radio Free America. This is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
And welcome everybody to our Daily Gun Show. Come to you live each weeknight at midnight Eastern, 9 Pacific. For about an hour each night, we talk about guns. Got a couple of, I'm going to just calling you regular hosts. We got Angelina jumping in from California. Thanks for joining.
Hello.
Got Cycle Camp jumping in from the East Coast in Connecticut.
Good evening, all you gun show people.
And then we got Gary jumping in from the middle of the country in Kansas. Thanks for joining.
Good evening. Thanks for the invite.
I'm down here in Arizona, and we have some links out there to others, so we may see more people joining in. And again, I talk about guns each night. We have a little bit of a schedule or things to talk about on Fridays. We usually try to talk about the industry and about tech, where the technology's going. And of course, we like to talk about a gun shop every day, gun movie usually, and some history, and whatever the conversation goes. So we've got some people out there that, again, have links. If you want to join in, feel free. Otherwise, thanks for the people that are joining us in the text chat. We watch the text chats over on Gun Channels, community we built 5 years ago. It's 4 shooters by us. We built it, so it's all gun friendly, and we have a conversation about guns there pretty much 24/7. So of course, we're watching the comments that are live over there, as well as what's happening on Gun Channels, or I mean on what's it called again? YouTube, I think. So anything happen in any of the warm-up shows it's worth talking about? Anything exciting happen in your lives?
Nope, not me. I mean, I've had an exciting week, I guess, but nothing today.
That's good to hear. It's always good to have exciting weeks.
Yeah.
I only tuned into two of them. I caught a piece of Matt's chat where they're bribing them with some kind of special video processor so they can start playing games. So now I'm concerned that Matt's chats are going to devolve into game playing, just like Hickok's kids did there for a while. And the other one I watched most of the one you were on just a minute ago with, Ask Everybody Everything. And I thought there were some pretty good comments in there. Well, but other than that, I spent most of the day working on my motorcycle today, so my back is really sore and I'm sweaty and grouchy. But other than that, I'm doing good.
And then you got a trip coming up?
No, I because I've had that problem with the starter relays not kicking in properly, and I've been hesitant to take the bike out. So the one that I would have gone to would have been a week from now, and all the sites filled up already, so I can't go. So, but I'll get out there again, and no big deal.
Gary, what's been happening in your neck of the prairie?
Well, I pretty much watched the same evening shows as Cycle Camp did, but I have been spending most of the day getting everything set up for our family's annual family reunion tomorrow, which I'm in charge of. So I was getting a tub together, get everything packed up that I'm going to need to haul, and making sure I have all the I's dotted and the T's crossed. I know it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but there it is.
Right on. Any kind of two-way stuff happening in a family reunion in Kansas?
I wish I could say there was, but no.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe like a BB gun thing or something.
Well, I'll have mine. I don't know about anybody else.
Your BB gun or something?
No. A real gun.
Oh, okay.
We need to talk about BB guns sometimes.
I got them too.
It looks like my sister fired a gun since the first time she got her license this last couple days ago. She's got her carry permit, but she never actually used it for anything. And she came out to one of our matches, and at the end of the match, we set up some stuff for her to shoot. She did not. She did not like the 45. She did like the 22, which kind of I sort of expected it because she's a bit of a wimp. But I think she'll. I think if she does it more, I think she might get into it. This is my younger sister. My older sister loves to shoot.
Okay, a couple of things. We got Patriot snuck in there. So hey, Patriot.
Hey, thanks for the invite.
Bet. And then a couple of things. Cycle. I forgot the first thing I was going to ask you, but I was waiting, and I'll think of it when I'm not trying to think of it. But what's it like with the sibling? We've always talked about, or people talk about, trying to teach a spouse to shoot, and it's not a good idea, or blah blah blah. So is it the same thing with a sibling? Because I can imagine young siblings, maybe not so much, but adult siblings, is it like better to have somebody else teach her, or is she just no big deal?
Well, I think us three kids, we were involved with guns when we were little. I mean, little, like 7, 8, 6, 7, 8. But only, it was like shoot the woodchuck that's eating our garden kind of thing. And I'm really the only one that stuck with it. But my older sister shoots. Actually, she shoots pretty well, and I just had to bring a selection of guns out for her to try. My younger sister didn't really shoot very much when she was little, and she's married now, so I let her husband worry about that stuff. Generally speaking, I will say that shooting firearms is like teaching somebody to drive. Do not ever do it to somebody. Don't ever try to teach somebody that you're related to. It's just a bad idea.
I taught my sister how to shoot. It went okay.
I mean, I'm sure it can work out for a lot of people, but like, I guess I'm just not patient enough for that stuff, and it doesn't work out well. But I don't have any trouble with other adults, so I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because I just approach it differently or something. I don't know. I've never had a problem with any of my friends taking them out to the range and shooting. And my daughter, I mean, I taught my daughter to shoot, and that was no problem. But the sisters are another story. It's not a good idea.
Sisters are difficult, so I get that.
So Angelina just bought stuff off the store, so you didn't get to hear the ding because I was over there trying to figure out what Cycle said earlier to remind me what the other thing I was going to talk about, but I can't remember. So
I got almost all the parts for that HM2. I'm only missing a couple small parts, and I'll be able to put that on the air.
Right on.
So it ran about another $100 for all the different parts I had to buy. But they did come back. A lot of the ones that I needed came back in stock, and now I'm just missing a couple pins and some screws.
So this was kind of basically a barrel sitting in a stock almost that Cycle grabbed off of me to help me raise funds to get back from Tulsa. And that one, I was hoping it would be a project for somebody to put it back together and get it work in order. So it sounds like it took a little bit of effort, but you were able to.
Yep, should be okay. Well, when I get it all finished, I'll do a quick bid on it and all that stuff.
Cool. All right, so what do we want to talk about today? It's industry tech. Take suggestions from the audience out there who have links. Night Strike out there? Good Night Strike out. And his ear.
I've seen a lot of videos. Travis P11's been putting up a lot of videos with very inexpensive scopes, and I mean he's paying like nothing for them. I mean, like $39, $59, and he's taking them out to 200 yards. And while he doesn't shoot a lot, they seem to be holding zero pretty well. I was really impressed. Maybe this is just another example of manufacturing technology now with the level of automation and all that kind of stuff, make it easier to make a precision instrument like that and make it really cheap.
Well, I don't know. Unless something has changed dramatically, I don't care what they perform like. They're not rugged. They break. So first time, and everybody says, "Oh, I don't throw my stuff around." So the first time he falls down, it's no good anymore. Can't see it.
Those like primary arms optics are pretty affordable and they hold up kind of well.
There's people out there, I'm sure by now, that are winging them around into the dirt and throwing them against trees and stuff.
The primary arm stuff, yeah.
Any of this stuff, yeah.
I mean, I dropped mine. I have one of those like micro red dot ones that they have with the 60,000 hour battery life. That thing fell off a table and like landed right on it, and it was still on 0.
Yeah, the only problem I've ever had with an optic was an old optic that I had on a British 303, and I took it to a match one time, and I'm trying to sight it in, and the gun is just all over the place. I just cannot get it sighted in, and it turned out that the ring that holds I'm not sure which lens is which. The lens that's closest to your eyeball, there's a steel ring in back of that keeps it, clamped in, and that had started to back out. And every time you shot the gun, the lens was tipping a little bit, and so of course it changed the point of aim. But I was able to fix it. I mean, I put some thread lock on it and put it back together, and it was fine. But that scope must have been. God, my nephew used that scope to shoot his first pig when he was about 12, and he's like 40 now. So that and that was at a new scope when I had it. So that thing must have been 30, 40 years old, like an old Bushnell or something.
How many rounds did it take you to like figure out that's what the problem was?
Oh, I figured it out when I got home.
Well,
I ended up borrowing somebody else's gun to finish the match, and when I got home, as I was taking the gun out of the when I was at home where it was quiet, when I took the gun out of the case and tipped it, I could hear it go click, and I said, "What the hell is that?" And that's when I took it apart.
shit, at least it was fixable though.
Yeah, oh, that was good. Yeah.
All right, well, what else do we have about tech?
Well, they're talking about servo holsters out there, and I don't want to get into that. So instead, I'd like to ask Patriot. You were asking in the chat yesterday when CloverTech had Austin on from Unstreamer. You were asking about the compatibility of their system with readers. So, would you give us some insight as to what it's like running a PC, running a computer for you? You're down?
Yeah, I just use a screen reader. Low vision blind people, it basically reads text that's on your screen, and you navigate using your keyboard if you're using a PC. Like right now, I'm on my nasty iPhone, and it has voiceover. That's where I think when Clover mentioned it to him, because I got an email from him back from Austin. And he was asking about the voice commands, and that was what I was using. So, but usually just use a keyboard. I can use the mouse and that kind of stuff, but basically you just navigate line by line or headings, and depending on if it's set up nice, it goes pretty quick. But that's why it's been so long that I haven't used my PC for chats, because you can hear the back feed of the software talking, and it sounds like, I don't know, you can hear it. And so I had some issues. First chat I went on, first lobby, Ghost, they were thinking it was somebody watching a movie on fast forward, the old VHS. But so I use the phone, and it works out better.
Okay, so not so much the text or the chat specifically then, but just, you turn on your PC, it's a Windows over Mac, or does it matter, or do you use a Mac?
I can use either. At home I use mostly Windows, but
okay,
it turned
on, and the accessibility options are just on right away for you.
Yeah, I've set it up that way. I mean, it's all through the settings and stuff. It can either come on when you first log in, or depending on if it's multiple users or whatever, you can have it set up just for one user whenever they log in. And so as soon as my computer turns on, it starts talking. It says, I'm in the edit fields and form fields, that kind of thing. I can navigate through all those. And on the computer, it's pretty quick. The phone, it gets there's a lag. I use dictation when I'm in the text chat, and it kind of gives me.
It'll read the chat to you.
Yeah, and that's kind of distracting when you're trying to listen to somebody, and so a lot of times I'm either focused mostly on the panel or what's going on, or I'm kind of focused on the chat because there's two different voices going or multiples. But
so I think I know quite a few people who are just fluent in keyboard commands for either illustration type of software, manufacturing software. A lot of anybody that gets really into software ends up doing keyboard commands. And I know some people that work through Windows and stuff where they wouldn't even touch a mouse for the most part. So
it's a lot faster. Definitely.
So you're just whipping around on tab and alt tab, and then your voice prompt will come up and give you like a indication of where you are on the screen as you're tabbing through, and you don't even have to listen to them to complete that, I'm guessing.
A lot of times. I mean, there's a lot of hotkeys that bring you to different form fields and stuff. It's like with a chat. That's why I don't go do the YouTube on the PC, because there's a lot of extra stuff, and that's when it starts giving you trouble when you have flash video or ads that rotate, the banners that are automatic, because it pulls the focus from where you're at to the ad, and it's it kind of makes it a headache. Like I can't go to Bud's Gun Shop because they have too many flash ads, and I'll start typing and it'll pull me off, and it'll put me up to the top or to the bottom or all over the place with their ads. So I pretty much I wrote them emails, and I don't deal with them because it's not accessible. So.
Bought something or did something. Appreciate that. There might be somebody bidding on the cards. I don't know what that ding was. But right now, Pickle's got the cards. Pickle stole the cards from Angelina. So with the besides navigation or whatever, do you find, I don't know, is there sites that are better or worse then? Do you find it difficult to gather info or to surf, or is it not a big deal?
I like going through text documents, so the websites that have a lot more, information written out that way, history, that kind of stuff, I can kind of blast through it a lot faster. Some sites, that use, the proper, headings and different things like that, where, some pages you go to, they don't use headings. They use a lot of graphics for buttons, but they don't use the alt text that describe what it is. So I'll go to a page and there'll be 20 buttons, and I just have to practice, and then I have to, rename them, because I have, with my software, I can name things. So if I come across the, red stop sign button, I don't know it's a red stop sign because they didn't label it, but it's just stop the program, or, if it's a video or something, I can rename it. But so, yeah, it takes a while. I mean, there's some sites that I like a lot better. There's several apps that, was it Jetsy Meet for GunTube? That has, when that app opens, there's nothing. There's nothing. So that's why I sit on there, and I can't find the mute button. There's nothing on there for me. So I watched the whole movie just sitting there with not saying anything.
Oh, I got you. So when we're in there watching the movie, we'll just automatically mute you because it's tougher for you to find the mute.
Well, yeah, because it's not labeled anything on that thing. So, and after it stops, after you stop like the video or whatever, and people start jumping out, then it starts throwing up different things in different areas. But it's just something I have to probably map out, because just even on the iPhone, I can label things once I find them. It's just, the hassle of trying to find them.
Interesting. Well, some of that, from the tech end of it, if you're using the alt tag text and just doing tags and, like you say, using headers appropriately, then that's good. That's good SEO. That's just good for robots. So I never thought about it. Definitely helps the readers. I've always thought about that, but I can't say that I've had any experience like with a emulator So, is there anything out there like a community for people that are dealing with site issues that are navigating the web, where you collaborate, or so you don't have to map things out each time?
Yes, definitely. Hang on, just starting to talk. Come in here. Yeah, there's all sorts of things. I mean, I'm actually an instructor. I teach it, so yeah. There's different places. I mean, anybody that's low vision and blind, they usually get the information. Hopefully, I know I didn't when I started losing my vision. I had to pretty much search it out myself. Even the doctor that did surgeries and stuff like that didn't have any information. There wasn't even brochures sitting in the waiting room or anything about that kind of stuff. Which that was just my doctor, I guess. But hopefully, there's other places. But each state has their own commissions for the blind, and Seattle's got like the Lighthouse. There's different organizations that do everything from just low vision, legally blind people that can actually still drive and that kind of thing, and guys with perfect vision like me.
Right on. Well, I appreciate the insight, and I'll pick your brain at some point on making gun channels more user friendly. And
that's sweet. Anytime.
And then I'd like to set up at least one channel over there for to let people know that we've got a community of people I'm sure would be able to offer resource, time, and effort to make two-way stuff more accessible. And I've always been an advocate for spreading your messages out to different mediums, and the blogs and stuff, I gotta assume, are a lot easier for you to digest than like you say, some of the infographics and stuff are basically pointless for you.
Yeah. And captures are a pain sometimes, but that's just signing up for GunTube. I mentioned that.
Well, you have to use captions though. For our end, like I didn't have captions on the 24/7 gun show for a minute, and I was just getting wailed on until I turned.
There's other ways too, where you can actually have a section like answer a question, and have a edit field to put the answer, and you actually type out THREE plus such and such or whatever, so you can make like word problems, or something that what's the colors of the flag, or whatever, so that it's a human answering, because the software that I use is just the same as that robot that's searching out trying to spam you. So it kind of, anything that blocks those robots kind of block us, but they do the audio as well, which are, some are good, some are kind of off, but.
All right, well, we'll put you on the spot again because you get to pick the gun shop of the day.
All right, I picked, do
you
need it now?
Yeah, no, you're not running the show. You're just going to have to do all the work. So
okay.
Hopefully that was interesting for people, and if it wasn't, then there's other shows. I think Edge is still going. We got a member of the day today. It's going to be Biker Bob. We haven't seen Bob on in a while, but he texted me earlier and let me know some good news. And I don't know if it's cool. He's out in the chat right now, so he's either going to jump in or say it's okay to tell everybody. But got some good news from Bob. That's good to hear. And obviously he started this show with me. He came down on his own dime and hung out in the United States for a while. And I think he's heck of a good guy. He's putting his money's where his mouth is, and fortunately now he's kind of paying a little bit of a price for that. But what are you going to do? Every good deed goes punished, right? Does that saying go? Anyway, that was a pretty good guy.
He's the best Canadian I know, except for Ryan Reynolds.
There you go. So nobody else has anything to say about Bob, but we're going to keep going anyway. So, let's see. I'm going to dig into history while now Patriot can tell us about his gun shop.
I was actually just trying to look it up. Bullock's Guns in, I guess it's Burton, Michigan, which is just outside of Flint, Michigan. Kind of a small shop, but they've been there a long time, and they sell a lot of safes. So you can look up Bullock's Guns, bullockssafe.com or Bullocks Safe, I believe. I was actually going to look it up here so I could get you the. Okay. But the really nice, friendly. You know, you go in there and talk. I've been working on them. I got some swag last week from them to send out to you, and they were kind of offish about the pictures, which is understandable. You know, it's a really nice small shop, but they've got pistols, rifles. You know, there's no range. It's just a shop, but they do sell a lot of safes as well.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty big shop from the thing here. Man, they got to have, 1,000 guns, easy.
They have storage as well, I think. Public storage units or something.
Neat. They have 100 Liberty and security safes in stock. Pretty cool shop. So you've gone in there and bought stuff?
I actually last weekend I bought that Taurus G2 compact. He talked me into it. So I like the place. They're nice. I mean, that was one of the places I called while I was looking for the 1911 to tear apart and stuff. And the guy was cool. He just said, "Come on in." And, you know, I brought him donuts like you suggested, and boy, they liked me ever since. Maybe.
Cool. I think that works. Not very many people do it. All right, so I'm going to go do history then. Thanks for doing that. We like to hit a gun shop every day. It's one of the reasons we do the show on a daily basis, so we can feature a gun shop every day. Anybody wants to promote a gun shop or feature a shop you like, send us an email, dailygunshow@gmail.com. So I'm looking at the history today, which is what? July 13th, and we got a cool one in here. But now I lost it because I run up to see the damn date. All right, now I can't find it. Anybody else looking at a history thing today? No.
No, usually Cycle does it. He does it better than I do.
1863, the USS Wyoming battled Japanese warlords. That was awesome.
What year was that?
Oh, I just scrolled that way fast. 1863. So junks, like coming out with cannons or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see, just after 1995, just 6 days after the Space Shuttle Atlantis returned, the Space Shuttle Discovery blasted off on a 9-day mission. Pretty fast turnaround, 6 days. All right, well, there's a lot of stuff, but just kind of scrolled through it there. Got a lot of dead air tonight for having 6 people in here.
I blame midnight.
Yeah, seriously.
Well, there went one.
So we're going to jump over, speaking of that guy, and played around a little bit today. If I can get this thing to open up. And went into the Gear Websites channel, opened up a live feed, and went out and looked for some pancake pictures. And then Midnight sent us this picture of some pancakes. And is there a way to make this go faster even? Anyway, so you can imagine I did the drawing of it and then turned it into a vector. I'll see if I can't con Angelina into making a sticker out of it. And then went to the, we were doing a chat, and Smeggy and Woods and I were talking about a thing we're going to be doing on Sunday about having how to have a good discussion with someone or a useful disagreement. Anyway, so kind of did a lot of back and forth, so I didn't pay attention and I didn't focus my screen on this enough. But took it into the embroidery software and made that image into a patch. And then at some point went over to the machine and had sewed out one. So then took all that footage from the live stream, which must have been a couple hours, and smashed it down into 5 minutes here. And then trying to post that on Untube, but Nine Strike's having some upload issues right now. So whenever that's ready, it'll be up there. And yeah, just kind of a neat project to do on a Friday. And I want to thank everybody on Patreon and I think your website store. Some people have been buying stuff tonight during the show. I was muted, I think, for 2 of them. But yeah, thanks for giving us the time to do stuff like that. We also played that Bake a Pancake song for like a half an hour in like several languages.
Just in a loop, like a never-ending loop.
Yeah, well, there's one that's a never-ending loop that's an hour long, basically, and it's got that one guy from Transformers jumping in and saying that his little like. Remember how one time that guy from Transformers was like, "Oh, what the hell's he saying?" Let me just go grab the video.
What guy from Transformers?
You'll know as soon as I say. As soon as I.
Bumblebee.
Oh no. One of the people, the kid.
Oh, one of the people.
The kid from the sucky kid from the Transformers. Okay, so here's this one, and then usually I'll find it as a suggested video over here. Anyhow, so there's a couple of them that are crazy remakes of this Bacon Pancakes thing, and we listened to that for like a half an hour. Of course, now I'm not finding any of them. Click on the long version thing underneath the volume. Anyway, so I don't know if that was fun or not, but it was an exercise in doing something a little bit different today.
I like the opacity on your syrup.
What's that?
I like the opacity on your syrup.
Right on. Yeah, that was an effort in trying to do something clear. I don't know if I liked it or not.
That's good.
All right, so seems like pushing a bunch of cats around tonight. So I guess we're going to end it. Does anybody have anything after this?
I might do something unless Dead Horse is going to do it.
Dead Horse had a link and he didn't jump in. So
On and off.
anything? Nope.
I'll probably do something then.
Right up. So it's going to be some sort of a lounge, I guess.
Yeah, a lounge. The Gun Channel's After Dark Lounge. Dress code is required, and no glass bottles.
Like one of them smoking jackets would be all right.
Yes. So all the guys have to be in a smoking jacket, and there must be a monocle.
Tomorrow, I think Travis is he back from his vacations, taking his Patreon money on vacation? Anybody know? There are other people in this chat tonight.
No, I think she's with me.
So if he's there, he'll be doing his chat on Tuesdays or on Saturday mornings. He's been doing that for a long time now. After that, is Rick alive? Rick went in to get his cyborg implants. Have you heard from him?
I emailed him, but I haven't heard back.
Well, that's not a good sign. Hopefully Rick is still alive, and depending on how fast he recovers from his cyborg implants, he'll be doing a show tomorrow. Probably wants to know if a bathrobe.
Which parts of them are they replacing? A joint or an eye?
It was his innards, right?
Ooh.
I think it's some kind of innards.
Is it a joint?
Troy's got one of them like terry cloth bathrobes that don't quite go all the way down to his waist. He wants to know if he can wear that.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
All right, there's Bob. He'll not wear a shirt. Bob doesn't do that.
That's all right. Bob can do whatever he wants.
I wasn't wearing a shirt all day. It's been like over 40 degrees Celsius here all day.
Oh yeah, that's almost there's no way to calculate how much that is.
How many real degrees is that? That's like over 100, ain't it?
Yeah, it's over 100, and it's humid.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, you chose to live up there in the wastelands. So not good news. I alluded
Like 100 miles from Minot, dude. I'm 100 miles from Minot, North Dakota. So, like, you know.
Yeah, you would think it would be cooler.
Yeah, it's not.
You want to tell everybody your good news?
I sold my fifth wheel camper. And the greatest part of the news is it's not going to be turned into scrap or anything like that. A family bought it. They got 6 kids. They're going to park it at a lake. They have a lot at the lake. They can just park their camper year round. They're going to take this old fifth wheel, set it up, do whatever to patch the leaks on the sides, because it won't matter. If you're not going 80 miles an hour, you don't have to worry about the siding flapping off. They can just seal them up, nail them on, and it'll be good, right? And everything works in the camper really well. So it means it doesn't get destroyed. It gets to survive and live on and make children happy. And I got $1,000 for it, and I paid $2,500 for it 3 years ago and took it to Arizona and back 2 or 3 times.
That's great.
Yeah. Oh, I'm happy as hell about it.
How you doing with the engine swap in your other one?
Oh, the engine's done. Now I should have took some pictures of all the pulleys because it's got a lot of pulleys and brackets and shit. So I haven't been doing much with them lately because I've had to deal with some legal shit with the X and everything.
Yeah.
And I got messed over big time. No, I got just fucked. It's like, I get to be poor sooner than I thought.
Well, you know what they say, anything with tits or tires will give you trouble.
Well, you know what? I'm just thinking to myself, what I should have done is, as soon as I retired, gone to Vegas, gone the coke and the hooker route, and then she wouldn't have been able to get me for anything.
Absolutely.
The only thing to do is get me a place to, sleep at night and hang out in the day that had a roof and 3 meals every day.
Well, I mean, it's not too late for cocaine and hookers, Bob.
That's true.
Yeah, never too late for that.
Well, I'm thinking at my age, heroin would be cool too,
I don't know if I'd go that far.
I don't know. If you get the good stuff, you can live. Look at what's his name? Not Mick Jagger, but the other guy.
Ozzy, or you're talking about Keith Richards?
Keith Richards. Look at him, man. He's been doing heroin since he was 20, and he's now 70.
He's made of heroin, I think.
Oh my God! Imagine if aliens kidnapped him and they just went, "Oh fuck, this world's fucked."
Well, they say there's some kind of thing, and they think that like Ozzy and Keith Richards have it, where you have some like genetic disposition to basically being like OD resistant. Like something about your body is like you can just handle like a shit ton of drugs.
Well, I guess it's not a lot different than the boxer who can take, a humongous beating that would like kill any other man, and he just keeps going, eh? Finishes the fight.
Well, I mean, anyway, it's not too late. Get some hookers, get some coke.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Right?
Go crazy.
I don't know. I can't really afford coke. I'm like,
Oh.
I've lost so much money. I'm just like, yeah.
Well, old chicks aren't getting pregnant, so.
Potatoes was asking about, you're not driving it down here, but no, Bob had, he bought one that's like a 1-ton van with a camper on the back.
Yeah, Class C, it's called. 24 feet.
Copied off of Pink. He bought the same kind of camper Pink's got.
I actually bought it before Pink, and mine's way older.
But so Bob's been pulling the engine out of that one, and then you already redid the back pretty much, right? Put new AC or something in, and it's all good to go. Or no, the AC was good to go.
Yeah. No, the AC's fucked in it, right? So I'm going to put a power vent where the AC was, and then put an AC in the bathroom window, which kind of blows right into the middle of the camper anyways. So I'll have an AC on the back of the camper, like the one you buy at Walmart, do an apartment. Well, that does a camper really well. And
a little 5200 BTU will toast it right up.
Yeah, and it runs off my solar. So
Why not put it in the bathroom window instead of the bedroom window?
Because the bedroom window would stick out the side of it. All right. Bathroom
Make it too wide. Yeah.
Well, it wouldn't make it too wide, but just make it look stupid and redneck. This way I can kind of disguise it and I'll just look goofy.
Well, goofy with an air conditioner. I don't think anybody's going to complain about an air conditioner.
Well, an air conditioner that works off the solar. I mean, I got like 4 deep cycle boat batteries basically in a big inverter. and a solar charge controller, and the roof of the van's covered in solar panels. So, yeah, I can actually sit in a Walmart parking lot and run my AC. That's a bonus.
That must be the life.
You know what? It's so cool because, like, Walmart's got everything.
Talking about bonuses, it looks like we passed the funding, so we get 100% it was. So I told whoever, I'm not going to click, I guess I can click on it here. So David, thanks. You'll get extra, and it looks like you're either from the Kickstarter or from Gun Channels. There are special perks available on Gun Channels and on the previous Kickstarter campaigns. But you're the one that took us over the limit or over the 100%. So thank you for that. And thanks to, I think it was 50 Cal who gave us that buck there to make it over officially. So that's cool. So now our goal will be to try to get to 1,000 decks so we can print 1,000 decks. And that way we can print them here in the United States. So we've got another week. We'll keep efforting on that. And again, we appreciate everybody who's already participated. Just as an insight, for people that are thinking about creating a project, Night Strike or others, 60 people were able to make something happen to the effect of $2,500. So this is at a $20 level, $25 a time. So to kind of put it in perspective, we're not talking Hickok numbers to make projects happen. I think it's really neat. I really like the Indiegogo stuff. And thanks to everybody who's made another successful project happen on a platform where when you search for guns, you find actually more anti-gun crap still than pro-gun stuff. So really do appreciate. I've had a couple that didn't fund, and it's no big deal, but it's cool to be able to see a successful one because then it just gets promoted a little bit more in their system. They like to promote the ones that are successful. So we'll keep working on that and drawing the cards and laying them out, and stay tuned for more. Oh, I guess I was also going to screen share this other thing. We've got the Gun Channels trading cards. So we've got cards in there for 60 of us and one blank. And there's a couple of decks out there. I think Midnight just grabbed the one and Ghost grabbed the other. So now the only one available is the eBay auction over here. And it looks like, I think that's Pickle has it right now. So if anybody wants to grab that one, we are trying to raise funds with it. So Angelina has already said that anybody that beat her would get some extra stuff, and I'll be throwing some extra stuff in there too, especially if it's a Gun Channels person that gets it. I'm assuming it will be. But again, we appreciate everybody who's going to continue to bid on this over the next day or so and raise some funds, because I'm trying to use these sort of to pay for prototype decks for the future stuff. So do appreciate that. Anything coming up? Cutting you off, Bob. We're just like the olden days.
Yeah, I know. Just like the old days, Bob starts to speak. G-Webs talks over him. Yeah.
Hey,
man, I could be Dano and talk over Bob too. That'd be cool.
No, you'd have to get really mad though.
No, you'd have to drone on more to be Dano. Really honest.
Yeah. Hey, today was the day that they handed down Miranda.
Really?
Yep, 1966.
Oh. Now, I remember hearing that in the news up in Canada on the radio because we didn't have TV.
I thought you were going to say I remember hearing that often from law enforcement officers.
Oh, once or twice in my wild younger days, but So that damn diesel fuel spill on the road, it'll spin you right out if you're on a bike and trying to make a corner.
I was trying to ask Patriot, you got anything coming up? Any projects? Any new campaigns?
I'm actually going to hang out after this goes off air, and I have some things to ask Angelina. I'm kind of going into those wood boxes. I know people on Gun Channels probably seen the pictures or whatever, but
that crate thing you made?
Yeah, I spent $200 on wood the other day, so I'm working with a new nail gun instead of screws, so that's not really 2A, but it is because it's
It's a gun.
looks like an old rifle crate. But I'm looking at getting a wood burner branding iron with my logo kind of thing on it, made by Crazy Blind Guy, whatever.
Cool.
That's it.
That's a really badass idea.
Did you see the box, Bob, that he made?
No, I didn't actually.
It was so cool. You
I
gotta
like that though.
channel, go get it.
Yeah, I like that old. And that's the thing is lately I've been just obsessing about boats and wooden boats and people building wooden boats and the kind of workmanship that goes into it. And it's just like, oh, I like that, but I can't do that. I mean, I do woodworking. It's like, yeah, that's good enough.
I know how that is. Whenever I put together, like furniture you buy and you gotta assemble it.
I don't do that, but yeah, I understand what you mean.
Well, shit, when I do it, it comes out horrible. So,
You get extra parts?
do extra parts, not enough parts. I gotta take the thing apart again because I fucked it up somewhere.
Oh, and they don't like to come apart. If you got to take them apart, usually they break.
So now we're taking a look at the crates that you posted on gun channels.
Yeah, do you look at
There's
that?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Little candle.
Oh, I love rope handles, except they're terrible to haul anything with. Just saying.
Well, look at the size of it. It's not huge. It looks like a Foot Locker, but it's not that size.
Yes, they're
Okay.
2x12 or so. That's what I'm making now.
Oh. Okay, well, that's a cool size.
Just enough for some ammo and a couple knives,
Yeah,
hand grenades.
yeah, maybe a SIG.
Right. So, midnight. Got your mute working over there? Your mic working?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm home now, so I have my headphones too. Yeah, it was acting all sorts of wonky. I'm sorry I couldn't be any help at all with the show. But I don't have a whole lot to plug. I mean, Sunday nights, 10:30 Eastern, and one of the videos that I just watched that G put out was him on Dead Horse's show. That was pretty awesome. That was really cool. It was kind of eye-opening a little bit with his view on Freedom Group and Cerebus.
I said it wrong, so don't say Cerebus. It's something else.
It's not Cerebus. I don't know. Whatever. But that's a really cool watch. I mean, it was definitely kind of exciting to listen to. So I recommend you go listen to that. And I want to appreciate all the super duper swag you got coming my way, man. That's awesome. I'm really excited to get some of that stuff for sure.
Right on. So the back of the hat is the same length. Back of that.
I was just happy to get the cards and a couple other things. I was excited to get them. So all the other shit's like an awesome bonus.
Yeah. So the back of that patch has that same rust mod, so you can.
Yeah. So I'll be passing some of that stuff forward, I'm sure, to other people. I hope they appreciate it. So thank you. Thanks for the invite, and I'm sorry I got here so late.
How do you say and to tell Patriot he's interested in helping him out however you need with your woodworking ventures?
Sounds good.
Let's see. So, I was going to say something while you're talking about there. I'll think of it when I'm not trying to think of it. Gary, anything coming up? At a weekend?
Well, other than the family stuff I got going on tomorrow, really not a whole heck of a lot, to tell you the truth. I'm sure I'll be sticking around the shows and checking out what's going on, checking around gun channels.
Right on. Now I thought of what I was trying to think about when Patriot was talking about that. That video I posted was, I forget what day that was. Some day we were in a chat and I just was listening to the guys say about Freedom Group. So I did a quick search around and I grabbed a couple of links that kind of made some sense to talk about my point, I guess. And then, so what I did is I started a screen capture. I let the guys know, hey, I'm going to record this part. And they said, all right. And then I said, I started a screen capture, kind of introduced it, said, hey, I'm in this chat, and here's my point. And then I put all those like tabs over in front of that part of the screen I was capturing. And then we had a bit of a back and forth. And then I just said, thanks for watching. And I ended that screen capture. And then we went on with the live show. And I just wanted to describe that because it's a way that a lot of us participate in these live shows. And there's little kernels of interesting shit or, insight or whatever, where, we want somebody to maybe expound on that or have a conversation. And that's a way to just, keep a mental bookmark of that or prepare like that and do it intentionally. I've done that a couple of times, and it's a quick way to make a video, especially on something that's like a political thing or just a theoretical point or something, or, Second Amendment issue or something, where you don't need a lot of visual aid. And then, assuming everybody's, we're all live in a chat anyway. I can't imagine any of us are going to be too upset. To just ask, does anybody care if I take a chunk of this and put it on my channel? And then, again, you can kind of take a kernel and put it over on a different platform or a different place and start a whole nother discussion or a whole nother conversation on whatever it was that, that point you had. Cycle, anything coming up besides are you shooting this weekend?
I'm supposed to. Tomorrow morning is the bench rest 22 50-yard rimfire match. So that'll be a lot of fun. And basically, it's the smallest group, but you shoot 4 groups of 5, and the person who has the smallest group is the winner. Typically, the winner is like 3/10 of an inch. 2/10 of an inch, something like that. I don't, at 100 yards, if I get under an inch, I'm doing great. So at 50, if I get under a half, I feel pretty good.
With the people that are shooting like this, has anyone used a suppressor? Are you able to? And I would think there's an advantage with a good suppressor, but does anybody bother?
Not with 22s. We do a bench rest high power match, but I don't believe anybody. Suppressor's kind of tough in Connecticut. A lot of the guns that take them are what do you call it? Are verboten.
Oh,
I would think a suppressor would affect accuracy to at least a small degree, just because of the it's exiting the rifled barrel and then it's going through a baffled chamber. You've got to think that that's going to put some kind of I guess maybe they compensate for it. But.
Well, no, it's actually a good suppressor that has repeatable connection or connection to the gun. Will give you a repeatable, a better zero. You'll get a better group because it's a perfect crown. That back pressure has a chance to distribute, and your crown, instead of being, the edge of the barrel, is just the end of the suppressor. So everything I've heard is the suppressors give you better accuracy. Of course, assuming you get a repeatable zero. Some of the suppressors that just screw on, you'll have a more accurate group, but it'll move around depending on where you tightened it. But the ones that have like a peg or a notch or some sort of a system to give you a repeat zero, they'll change your zero from not having the suppressor on, like it'll move sometimes, but it'll be tighter.
Yeah, and the first shot is different too because you got to charge the suppressor.
That's a good point, yeah.
So you'd have to pick. Well, of course, we all take warm-up shots anyway. We all have get the gun rolling shots before we start the actual shoot the actual targets, and that's true with every match. We shoot siders before we do anything else.
I'm just curious, something like that, is it everyone does the same so it's consistent, or everybody does whatever they feel like? It's up to you.
Everybody does whatever they feel like. You can take as many siders as you want. And if you're like, say you shoot 2 of your targets and you think your gun is going off, you could go back to your sider and shoot some more. We do have a limit as to how long you can shoot. It's like 20 or 30 minutes or something. But yeah, we don't, the rules say it's 10 rounds for siders, but nobody nobody really pays attention. And a lot of people don't like the other day when I was shooting the pre-1890 match. I mean, I shot 4, and as soon as I got one, pretty close to the bullseye, I said, that's it. I'm tuned in. I'm done. So it really.
I can imagine nobody wants to win because somebody's sight was loose. You want to win because you're a better shot, right? So
right.
A couple extra shots to make sure they're comfortable with their shots.
Yeah, if the gun's getting whacked out, or like you say, the sights are drifting, or they don't shoot real fast, so we typically don't have a lot of trouble with the barrels heating up, and because a gun will string when the barrel heats up a little bit. But generally speaking, it's pretty laid back and mellow. The only time that doesn't happen is when we shoot NRA rapid fire.
Pickle was asking what software I use to capture the screen or whatever. It's called Free Scan Video Capture, and it's by Top View Soft. So Free Screen Video Capture is the name of the software, and the name of the company is Top Video Soft. All right. So anyway, yeah, I've been using that one for a while. It's free, I think. I've been using it for free.
Yeah, I got a free one for mine, and it was really good software, but I didn't read the user instructions very well. And when I did my first video with it, the video came out screwed up because I didn't realize that you had to tell it not to use the external microphone as the input device.
Okay. Sometimes, yeah, they're weird like that.
Yeah, so you had to tell it use the video from the stream, and luckily I was playing it with the video. I was playing it over loudspeakers, and I had my microphone on, so it picked it up, but it was kind of faint.
Bob, you got anything coming up? You going to be joining any shows?
Oh wow, there's 2 of them.
Yeah, now we got 2 Bobs, but he's not saying anything.
Yeah, no, I think I will be. Shit's kind of come to a head here, and it's just like, well, at this point, I don't give a rat's ass. So yeah, I might be joining more shows. I'm over 1,000 subs, by the way. I kind of eased up there somehow. I started talking to some ladies that are in the fishing channels, and yeah, kind of boosted me up. But that was,
Oh, hell yeah, they got the power of the Bob, win him over.
Bob resorting to wooing the ladies for views.
Well, I'm surprised that he's like shooting a fish on the fishing channel. That's not fair.
Well, if you use a bow and arrow, it is.
Oh.
No. And I like to shoot them when they jump into the air. So you go to where all those, funny intrusive species are, and you drive your boat along, and the fish jump in the air, and you shoot them with your bow. It's great, man.
Yeah, but it sounds like you're fishing for tuna, Bob.
No, not tuna. No. They're like, I don't know, some kind of weird carp or something. I wouldn't eat them, but other people do. So, hey.
So if you're driving along in a boat and fish start jumping up like that, hit the deck, because that's what Bob's going to start doing.
Hey, it's not my fault if you get in my way. I'm looking after the environment.
Are there lady fishermen that use the bow and arrows though?
No, these are mostly ones who use hooks and stuff, which I like to use too. I mean, there's nothing better than sitting out on a lake and putting a line into the water, cruising along with your super quiet little electric motor. Makes no. I've had beavers, swim up next to the boat and swim along next to the boat and shit. It's just great. These northern lakes, right? And it's just, the water's like ice cold, and you could drink it right out of the lake.
Speaking of throwing your dog in the ice cold water, how's that little dog doing?
Oh yeah, little dog. Yeah, the big giant fur monster. He's doing great. Right now, he's out chasing coyotes. I think he's
got a little girlfriend for him now.
Oh, I know. I heard you got that little husky female. Oh, he's gonna like that because he likes female dogs.
Let me text you her name real quick.
Oh my God.
So,
Bob, you know, and I don't.
So everybody else can go over to Instagrams, and we're doing a thing. I don't know why people can't figure out her name. It's pretty obvious. Little white fluffy dog, like a little teddy bear. It's like a wolf, completely white. Pretty easy to figure out the name. So you have to go to this specific post. Look at this, 153. If I would have known about this, I'm getting a dog every week. Look at these. Look at the numbers I'm bringing in on this dog. So you got to go to this specific post and try to guess.
It is a very, very cute dog, and Charlie, like I say, is gonna love her, because he likes female dogs, and especially big, like dogs that can stand up to him.
This dog is 40 pounds, so it's about half the size of him.
Oh
And
God, no, he's 160.
Oops, those are my secrets. And then she tore into bigger dogs than her, so she's really ready to tear into Charlie if he's weird to her.
Oh no, that's great. That's what, like, because he respects that, eh? He has lots of female dogs tear into him. That big Italian Mastiff he was in love with, it was, yeah, that was one of those heartbreaking romances that just couldn't happen.
Call this dog an Alaskan Husky?
An Alaskan Husky?
Well, you're calling them Italian. Is it Alaskan?
Well, no, they're Italians, right? Because you call them Itais, because, I don't know, that's what my dad used to call them when they were fighting in World War II.
Oh, I was going to see if anybody, before Bob started being an Italian racist over here.
Apparently, I don't want to talk to you about what he used to say about the Japanese.
All right, so no, there hasn't been very many new ones since I last said no. No one's figured it out.
So nobody's guessed the name yet?
No, it's been like 159 guesses or something. 150 guesses. Pretty obvious.
Well, you know, it's obvious if you know you, but yeah.
All right. Well, so with that, that was everybody. All the males on the panel have been addressed to see if there's anything going on. Oh no, we forgot about taters. Anything coming up going on over the weekend?
No, I'm just working tomorrow, and then Sunday I'm gonna go hang out with my dad for a little while. Nothing eventful.
And then I guess I was informed by Obama that because of some kind of federal law, we have to also ask Angelina if she was doing anything this week.
Yeah, that's a law now.
Oh, wait. Before she says anything, I got something more to add, and she's just the woman anyway. I am going to start doing I'm thinking I'm going to start doing a live video chat for about 50 minutes. I'm just going to talk about the campers I've owned up until the one I have now. This is a funny little thing, so just so everybody knows. Go ahead, Angelina. You can go.
I got something to add to that. So why don't we hook that up with the van chat, dude?
Yeah, we could do that.
And then I'll play it on the van chat if it's short. Okay.
No, it's going to be short. You can go now, Angelina.
Is it okay for me to talk, sir?
Yes, it is.
Not so loud, though.
Yeah. But don't use that tone of voice with us.
No, or else I have to go back to my room. No, I don't have much going on this weekend. I got some art to do. I got some designs to make and some patches to make. But yeah, just chilling. I guess I'll be doing something tonight as far as a lounge. This is different from the lobby in that it's more fancy. So,
ooh, leather chairs.
Leather chairs that massage you, and a champagne room.
Oh, I don't like chairs that massage. I really don't like machines touching me, unless it's my motorcycle.
Unless like things that vibrate, Bob. But anyway, there'll be a champagne room, dressed to impress. Bring dollar bills because Night Strike's gonna dance.
I'm gonna have to bring my second monocle.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Oh my goodness. All right, and hopefully I can con Angelina into getting some stickers from some of these projects we're working on.
Do I get to know your dog's name?
Gee, I just have to ask, what the hell happened to the show?
Yeah, see what happened?
I know.
600 episodes.
It's Friday. We're tired. Jeez.
You lost control, dude.
It's like had the biggest erector set project in the world, and for some reason we decided to build a bridge from one side to the other, and we got about 600 episodes in, and the thing collapsed, and now it's just this is what we got left.
Oh, actually, it's not bad. I kind of like it more.
Yeah, it's just a different show. So we're going to be doing a lot more with interviews and stuff, playing them, doing those with people and then plugging them in. And it's already started with a couple of those, but they ended up turning into off-air discussions that we wouldn't really want to broadcast. So we'll continue to do those with more on-air type of stuff. And thanks for everybody who's willing to stick with us. We got 15 people watching tonight, but more importantly, the people that stick with us in the long term, because we don't do whatever recipe works. We know what works, and that's boring. So thanks to the people that like whatever we're throwing out in our buffet. Does anybody have a quote? Wait, did we do everything? Did we even do a movie? Why don't we make
No,
Patriot?
you didn't do a movie.
Why don't we make Patriot do the movie?
Empire of the Sun. Too long.
Never heard of it.
What?
There's not very many. Yeah.
No, I love that movie, man.
Is this
I
the
love the book
Iwo Jima
more.
from the other side? Or am I
What's
thinking, is this the story of Iwo Jima from the Japanese side?
No, that's Letters to Iwo Jima. Or yeah, that's
It's
different.
it's about the kid in the Australian refugee camp in Japan.
No, but yeah,
Oh, okay. Sorry.
yeah, he was.
Why don't you tell us?
I thought he was British.
He's a British kid in
British,
Hong
yeah.
Kong because
Oh,
the Brits
okay.
were in charge of that until the
Right.
Japanese invaded or whatever. But he went to a POW camp, a couple of them and stuff. But it was kind of him growing up as a little kid in the POW camp, and kind of, they had a couple of Americans in there. Malkovich was the American guy.
Yeah, he
But
became
they had a P-51 Mustang flying through there, which was kind of odd, but that was pretty cool.
no. It was actually at the end of the campaign against Japan. They had lots of P-51s flying in the theater.
The little boy was Christian Bale too.
Oh, really?
Christian
I know,
Bale played
early-
the kid. Yep.
Yeah. Early on, they had him seeing zeros and going, "Oh," like he just loved flight. And then there was a thing with the Japanese commandant's son and the elastic band airplane. That was a really good movie. The book,
Yeah, it was a good movie. I remember seeing that when I was young, and I really
Very
liked it.
long,
Yeah.
but good soundtrack.
It's a good flick.
yeah, it really was. That's a good movie. Good pick. And P-51's got 650 caliber machine guns. And there is someone in America who has 6 tax, whatever you guys have to get a machine gun, and he has 6 live 50s in a live P-51 Mustang. And I've seen this thing, well, in videos and in magazines, like up on the stand, test firing its 50 cals. And this is a bunch of guys, I think, in California. It's the most, well, it can't be California, it must be Arizona. It's the most badass thing I've ever imagined ever owning. Sorry, someone mentioned P-51 Mustangs, and I'm a bit obsessed with those airplanes as well as all others.
There was a couple revolvers too, and Arisicas, and
Nambus.
Hershey bars.
Yeah. How do you smuggle a Hershey bar? Oh, God.
You know how.
And not melt it?
You know exactly how.
I know. I
No,
saw
it's in
that
your mouth,
movie.
not in your hand.
I saw that.
That's M&M's.
I saw that movie with Kevin Hart and what's his name? That anti-gun curly-haired jerk off.
This sounds like chat for the lounge
Yeah, that could be chat for the
and a
lounge.
wrap for the Daily Gun Show.
I think you should. It's getting kind of late. You guys are crazy, man. You go way over time.
So I was looking over on Gunstreamer while you were talking because I forgot what kind of plane it was. But you know how there's the little bombers? I don't know. It wasn't a 17, so it was a 20-something. But some guy posted a video on the Gunstreamer I had watched, and he was on one of those, what they call the Freedom Rides or Liberty Rides or whatever they call them when they get a chance to ride one of those old bombers. So he had, he was, it sounded like, I don't know the guy, but it sounded like he was some sort of maybe mechanic an aviation mechanic or something in the military. So he was on this plane, and it was supposed to be a half an hour plane, or half an hour flight, and something happened. They lost hydraulic pressure or something into something, so they had to fly around for 2 hours to dump gas and try to fix this hydraulic line so they could land and stuff. And he's got like at the end of the video, his T-shirt is like soaked in fluid. Can you imagine being in an old World War II plane that breaks while you're in it, and there's like 6 passengers, the 2 pilots and the crew chief. And from what I could see, because he's just got his camera, the machine guns that are sticking out the side, there's no like glass, no bubble, just the the Medusa, I don't know what are they, 1919 sticking out the side, and the ball gunner thing is the turret, whatever, is just sitting right there. You could totally fall out of it. The bomb bays are just totally open. Like you were not paying attention, you just fall out of this airplane. I can't even imagine having it like actually spraying shit on you, and they're out there trying to work on it. Pretty neat.
Yeah, actually, I can add to that. The guy's name is Hornet Fixer, and he has
That is the guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he has a really cool. He's a Pro 2 guy. He has lots of shooting videos and stuff like that. But he actually is a mechanic on Hornet jet fighters for whatever the company that fixes them.
So you see YouTube or something?
He used to be Navy, I think.
Oh yeah. So you're seeing him on YouTube?
Oh yeah. He's
a fun streamer now. So yeah, cool channel.
Yeah,
so you've already seen that video I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
So,
like
pretty neat.
One of the I can tell you what happened. One of the hydraulic hoses, I think, on the landing gear blew during the flight, and the flight engineer was having a hell of a time, and he went over and said, "Well, I'm a Navy, F-18 mechanic," and then ended up helping the guy. Pretty cool, actually. Going on a heritage flight and getting to fix the airplane in the air.
It looked like they were just sitting on like a bench seat between the 2 machine guns at the midsection of the plane. So he's showing his camera like out past the guns, just into the air. Like they could have fallen out of that hole, that big ass hole in front of the rear fins and shit.
Well, that's why they make them sign waivers that say if you fall out that big ass hole, we're not responsible. And you still pay thousands of dollars to do it.
I don't think it's thousands, it's hundreds, I think, but I would definitely that would add so much to it to be able to fly around in something like that where the region.
I had a friend of mine one time, and we had a big air show, and a second cousin of his or something was flying a B-25 Warbird that had the 75mm cannon in it. And they said, "Do you want to, because you're our cousin, do you want to go for a flight?" And he was like, "I guess so." And he's telling me later how it was horrible. It was noisy. It was scary. He really didn't want to do it. And I'm like, "Oh my God, what the hell's wrong with you?" I would have, yeah. I can't understand that, man. I think it was a J model, if I remember right. And it was made for attacking shipping. It had a 75mm freaking cannon in the nose, and then still about 6 or 850. It was B-25 Mitchell.
All right, that's a whole different chat now. So we got a quote.
Sorry. I get a little funny about airplanes.
Really? You got a quote, Bob?
Not a chance.
What?
Not a chance. All right, I give you my standard one. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
What? In the last moments of a Friday show?
What is it?
Oh no!
Wow.
Nobody even knows what this is anymore. Probably.
Windbreaker.
No, you just answered. All right, well, so what that sound means, I guess we don't have anybody here to say any of that stuff. That sound means is that it's time for a tactical pop quiz. So
crack your knuckles and whip out those keyboards. It's time for a tactical pop quiz.
Thank you. Yep. So here we go. It's an easy one for anybody that has recollection. What is the... Oh, wait, hold on. What is the... I have to go... Now it's probably going to give me a commercial. Now, what is the song that we started the show out with today? We're mostly watching the Gun Channel side, but we'll take an answer from the YouTube side. What song did we start the show out with today? And it was not General Kalashnikov, and it was not the number 42. Everybody on the YouTube side is even listening. Think of the lag. Think of the horrible, horrible lag they have over there, because they're on a bloated, dying platform. Nothing. We'll just let it run out this one. Nobody cares. We'll just let it run out. Not even one answer on YouTube. I don't even know what a tactical pop quiz is.
I forgot.
It's been a while.
Almost over. Oh, it's over. 20 seconds. EDK? No. NXS?
Nope. I'm disappointed.
In honor of our co-host from that region, I said no more. From that region of the world, we started the show out with. Oh, I have to push the play button. Anybody? Anybody? It was not bacon pancakes.
Is that If It Makes You Happy?
Yep.
What was that?
Carol?
Yeah. Joe Crow.
If it makes you happy, that song?
Yeah.
Oh. I didn't hear the beginning of the show. I missed it.
A lot of you don't realize, but a lot of times I would open up the chat maybe a couple minutes early, and then I would send the links out. You know, we'd always gather right before the show. A lot of us like to get a massage or our hair done or something, you know, make sure we're fresh for the show. And we'd come back, and Bob would be in there singing Sheryl Crow songs.
I was going to say it's Sheryl Crow, right? Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, so that's the show. Now,
Damn it,
Bob,
Robert.
do you have an actual quote or something on that? No, nothing? I was playing that. Anybody?
No, I do. I was just busy doing something. This one's going to be my personal hero, Winston Churchill. And it's kind of, I like it right now. Success consists of going from failure to failure without a loss of enthusiasm. And think about that, right? Because everybody fails. If you've never failed in your life, that means daddy's been paying people to say you succeed. Or you're a modern child who's got a medal for, you know, participating. Anyway, loss is part of life. And I think that's what Winston was saying there. So that's going to be the quote of the day. And boy, that went long-winded. All right, finished up, G, if you want to.
God save the...
Guys and gals of gunwebsites.com encourage you to take a CCW class every year, practice at least once a month, and carry every day. Thanks for watching gunwebsites.com.
Naleśniki, robię naleśniki, biorę bekon, to z nim będą naleśniki. Naleśniki, robię z bekonem je naleśniki.